top off. I'm dripping like hot sauce. I got drink.
Hey y'all, what's up everybody? Welcome back to your girl's channel. We got Real Housewives of Atlanta to get into. Part 3 of the reunion, y'all. We are finally at the end of the road for season 12. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited to get done talking about these heifers because I've had enough of Nene doing all this blabbering and talking and running her mouth, talking about, oh, she gonna serve these bitches at the reunion and doing what she always does, which is shut down, run away when things start getting a little too hot. The kitchen got too hot and she ran out that bitch, okay? And then we finally got Yovanna, that bitch from Clark, to come on and finally discuss why she did what she did in regards to Snakegate and how Nene was involved in that. So we're going to get into talk about everything. Before we do, though, can we just take a moment of silence for these braids that I had in my head last week? Yes. Finally, your bitch over here, y'all, look, I'm over here fried, dyed, and laid to the side. Okay, what? Y'all, I'm so excited my hair is done. I'm not even gonna lie, like, y'all, I was up in there looking rough up under that hat, okay? But now I'm looking good, everything's straight, your girl's scalp is moisturized and everything. I'm a new woman, can't nobody tell me nothing, okay? Let me quit hyping myself up. Let's get into the reunion, you guys. Talk about everything, let's get into it. So we basically open up the episode with, noticing that Nene's laptop is closed. She got her little paper of reads sitting on the keyboard. We saw that mess. Boy, I swear you gotta go back to your little good Judy's now, Nene, telling that you couldn't get your reads off because you took off running with your tail tucked between your legs. But then Andy's like so over it. He's ready to move on. So they get into the segment of Kenya and Cynthia's relationship and how sometimes it kind of feels like they're friends, but then like they kind of have these really weird tension moments between them two, especially more on Kenya's side, it seems like. But after they run the tape back, they basically get into how a lot of people felt like Kenya ruins Cynthia's proposal. And I'm with those people. I'm like, why would you run and tell somebody that their man is about to propose? The whole point of a proposal is for it to be a surprise. Bitch, I'm not supposed to know this is coming, and you come and tell me. Yes, Cynthia had some idea that this man was going to propose, but she didn't know exactly when. And here you go, Kenya running to her, especially after you knew the fact when Candy told you. Candy was so hot, you guys. Cynthia revealed, like, at first she wasn't that upset because she wouldn't believe Kenya would do that. But after watching everything back and seeing that Candy actually verbatim told her, look, something might go down, you need to get here. Like, that was messed up. It really was. And then, for Kenya, I think Kenya sometimes gets in her way because she has this idea of, oh, I got to be the first one to break the news. I got to want to be, you know, to prove this is my best friend. Because I always think back to that moment where she was telling Cynthia, like, oh, remember I told you I had a dream when she tried to be good old mystical Cleo. Talking about, oh my God, I knew it was going to happen. You know, I always tell you about stuff. I know when it's going to happen because you're my best friend. And I felt like she was trying so hard to, like, show Cynthia that, like, oh, I know this big moment's going to happen in your life. Well, girl, bitch, let the moment happen first before you ruin it. Like, girl, a proposal, like, that only is going to happen that one time. So let it be special. Don't ruin it. Like, I do not get why she did that. She apologized, though, but ain't no point in going on a rant because they back friends again. So then we end up getting into how, though, people sometimes feel like Cynthia went from one toxic, you know, relationship as a friendship to another one. I find it quite odd how Cynthia always finds herself in these friendships where she's kind of the more like sidekick of the group, of the duo. Like with Nene, she was a sidekick. With Kenya, she's the sidekick. Like she always finds herself in these friendships where she is the subdued, always taking the beatings, like type person. And, you know, at least with Kenya, though, I will say she has a person that she has a little bit more of an open monologue with. Because with Nene, she wasn't getting no word in edgewise with Nene. And Nene would shut her down every single time and basically convince her she was wrong for feeling the way she was. And Cynthia always had to be the bigger person. So I can appreciate that about their friendship. But Kenya's dirty, though. Kenya, you can be her best friend and she still is going to throw you under the bus. Which makes me bring up the whole topic of the whole Tanya situation in the cookie bitch. Because Kenya felt the type of way about Cynthia telling Tanya about what was going on and, you know, not being in on it. And Cynthia definitely, I can see, y'all, I'm starting to look at Cynthia side-eyed because she ain't innocent. She ain't no saint. She definitely is playing behind the scenes and, you know, trying to throw the rock out her hand. And she definitely got revealed because, yeah, Kenya did what she did, but you ain't no better because you was getting ready to have the cookie lady come up to Brooklyn's birthday party and confront Tanya. And you were not going to tell her. You were going to allow her to be ambushed. And Cynthia is trying so hard to defend her actions, but I'm glad the ladies was calling her out like, no, Cynthia, like, you dead wrong. You were not getting ready, like, you were getting ready to allow Tanya to walk into a situation knowing what this lady knows. This cookie bitch is about to go in there and tell this woman about her man she's been engaged to for a decade that, you know, that they were possibly fucking around. Like, that's not good, Cynthia. And then she tried to be like, well, how did you know I wasn't going to call Tanya? Candy said, did you? Did y'all hear the answer to that one? Because I didn't. I didn't get no answer to that one. Cynthia, did you call Tanya? But then Tanya's all dodo dumb self talking about, oh my God, I respect Cynthia. I know she's a good woman. Tanya, can you stop living in La La Land for 2 seconds and just open your eyes? Look next time, open your eyes. Use your antennas, in the favorite words of Cat Williams. Use your eyes, use your antennas, okay? Cynthia was getting ready to set you up, bitch. Like, you already got embarrassed. Like, girl, she was about to set you up for the birds. But I find it real ironic, though, like how Kenya always does these things where it's almost like punishment. She goes off on Cynthia as a way of punishment. It is so, and Cynthia be taking it, but Kenya, she came for Cynthia in that whole wine situation. They end up getting on that about how Kenya was just kept going in on Cynthia about the wine when they did the dinner in the air, and Kenya didn't know when to shut up. She's like, yeah, it started as a joke at first, but watching it back, you know, like I, like the rest of the viewers, realized that I went a little bit too far. And it's like, girl, how did you not notice that you were going too far, like when you were in the air? Like, you totally missed the cues when everybody else was getting quiet and kind of was like looking like, okay, bitch. Like, okay, bitch, we get it now. Okay, bitch, we get it now. Like, girl, everybody was looking at you like, you doing too much. But I will say, Cynthia, like, if you gonna own a wine cellar, you ain't gotta be no sommelier or nothing. But you at least gotta know which wines are sweet, which ones are dry, like, which ones, you know, should I pair with a chicken, fish, or steak? Like, at least that little bit. But she did what most people on reality TV do. They get into a business or something they like. Oh, Portia, I wear wigs, so I'm gonna start me a wig line. You know, if I like makeup, I'm gonna start a lipstick line. Like, it's just what it is. But Kenya, you definitely was so wrong for the way you did, because you made her look so bad. And now who's gonna want to go with Cynthia's wine cellar now? So then we move on to how Kenya and Nene get compared about how they're somewhat the same. And Cynthia was like, no, they're not the same, because at least Kenya will apologize. And I will give her that. Kenya and Cynthia at least do have open conversation, and Kenya has been good with apologizing. To this day, we ain't never heard Nene said sorry and that be it. It's always, I'm sorry, but you did this, or I apologize, but you did this first. Like, it's never just, I acknowledge what I did and I was wrong. It's never that with Nene. So I will give, that point, on as far as their friendship goes. So then we end up transitioning into the segment of Kenya and Nene and how we don't know how this beef started in the first place. We see their, playback of the year and how they always fought. And Andy's just like, where did this all begin? Can't nobody figure it out. To this day, we cannot pinpoint this one action is the one that, was the domino effect. And for Kenya, it's basically like it started when she came on. Ever since Kenya came on, Nene could not stand her, and it was because the attention was off of her. Nene has to be number one. She needs to be number one, which is why she always is trying to come for Candy. Like, oh, I'll never give up my seat. I'm always going to be number one, and Candy ain't never been number one. Like, for her, Nene's always about being noticed and being the first one and being the one with the most attention. And when Kenya came on, she took that from her. Kenya became a polarizing figure, super controversial. She obviously real fast, got a lot of attention on Housewives, and Nene ain't like that. So they butted heads a lot because they really are the same person. They both lack accountability. They both, have to manipulate situations. They like to make themselves the victim of stuff. Like, it's just what they both do. But then we get into the part about Greece and how, you know, a lot of people felt like Kenya didn't accept Nene's apology and how many times she tried to say sorry to her and give her an olive branch. And Kenya was right. Bitch, why am I getting ready to accept the olive branch if that whole covered in poison ivy? I said, you sure right. I ain't getting ready to start breaking down in highs and itching everywhere all the way down to my coochie because somebody wouldn't tell me they sorry and I'm supposed to believe it. Hell no. And once you show me who you are, I'm going to believe it. And Nene showed Kenya who she was multiple times. And yes, Nene might apologize in Greece, but that was only on the heels of Cynthia telling her to. And then the minute they get into an argument, Nene goes right back into dogging Kenya and bringing up Mark and the divorce and everything. So Kenya was like, no, I knew that shit was fake. I knew it wasn't real. So I'm not going to accept it. And nobody should require me to. I don't feel like I should have to accept somebody's apology when I know I don't like you. You don't like me. But oddly enough, Andy realized like, oh my gosh, even in the midst of y'all hating each other, y'all both always say either one of them is good for TV. And as a cast member, they both know I might not like the bitch, but she's good for TV. And they can realize she needs, you know, recognize, oh, this other person needs to be on the show because at least I had somebody to argue with and I can make my money because I'm always have a storyline. If the bitch is on the show that I don't like, I always know I got somebody I can argue with, and that's how I'm gonna make my coin. And I think that's, even though they hate each other, Kenya and Nene had that understanding of, I might not like you, but at least we can make coin yelling at each other, okay? So then we get into how it seems that Nene and Kenya can provoke each other, it's specifically Kenya, because we get into how, they talk about how Nene was going to spit on Kenya, about how she, threw the popcorn in Greece, how they got into it. And Candy looked at Andy and told him straight up forward, had that been anybody else, it would have been on and popping. All y'all would have been arrested up in Greece, spending jail time overseas. And that is not where you want to go to jail overseas. Candy was absolutely right. Couldn't have been me. Had you lunged at me, threw popcorn at me, and fake spit on me, bitch, we was going to tear this place up. And that would end a discussion. Somebody would have had to bail me out. But it's Kenya. She does what she does. She knows how to get under people's skin, specifically Nene. And they both do it to each other. And Kenya was mad because it's like, oh, everybody's always pointing out what I do, how I provoke people, what I'm doing to get under people's skin. But nobody's recognizing how, you know, Nene did this foul stuff to me. And I recognize both of it. They both can exist. But what's annoying is like every time you brought up something to Kenya about what she did wrong, well, they did it too. And it was wrong when they did it. Like everybody, especially Kenya and Nene, they both do the same thing. When it's time to acknowledge what they did wrong, they can't do it until they point out the fact that somebody else did it first. It was wrong when they did it, and it's wrong when you do it as well. Like, just because somebody else, you know, poked at somebody or did it to somebody else doesn't negate the fact that you need to acknowledge that you did the same thing. And yes, I'm not going to sit there and point out Kenya because at this point, you know, I'm not a fan of Kenya. I know who she is, what she stands for. Like, she is who she is. And I'm not going to keep beating it a dead horse over the fact that Kenya has these antics and that she knows what to do for the show. But like, it goes both ways, and I'm not going to sit there and pick one of the other when y'all both are wrong. Like, I'm not going to do that. So then we end up getting onto the fact that they felt like Kenya was poking at Nene when at Candy's baby shower. Now, Candy's baby shower, they got into it, and then Kenya goes walking over trying to talk to Shamia, and Portia was like, no, I do not believe that was just by coincidence. You definitely were trying to poke at Nene, like this is what you do, provoke people. And she was like, that is not what I was trying to do. People do it to me all the time. And Marlo killed me because Marlo pulled the good old age-old question when she said, well, what about Kim Fields? I said, girl, they did the playback, and when Kenya pulled that chair out, Kim is a saint, because had that been me, that bitch pulled my chair out, I would have picked it up and hit her in the back with it. Do not play with me, okay? Do not play. Train to go, TTG. And she said, well, what about Portia and the blowhorn? Oh my God, you want to go back? That's what we're going to do? We're going to go back? No, I didn't do that. I walked over there to talk to Shamia. And it's like, girl, if you really only just wanted to talk to Shamia, you would have pulled her to the side. You would have took her to a different table. You walked over there by Nene knowing that was going to get under her skin. Now, were you poking at her per se? No. but you definitely knew walking over there was going to get under her skin. Like, Kenya, you're not stupid. So her and Portia end up yelling about that. But at the end of the day, like, we know who Nene is. We know who Kenya is. Like, they're going to continue to do the same thing. So, but Marlo just killed me when she brought up Kim Fields, because Kenya did a hell of a number on Kim Fields that year. She loves picking on the weak. So then we end up getting to the section of Yovanna, that bitch from Clark. She ends up coming on and talking about Snakegate. Now, Snakegate was all the rage this season because that was basically Nene's storyline. And Yovanna comes on and everybody's like, where's Nene? Why is she not here to defend herself? And Yovanna's like, well, that's a good question, because she showed me sending me a lot of emails and stuff and sending me cease and desist and don't want me to talk about nothing. And at this point, Nene, like, you pretty much showed how guilty you are. We have never known Nene to not back down from a fight, especially when she feels like she's in the right for something. Especially when she thinks like she has the upper hand or she's right. Nene is going to fight to the death. She's going to argue with a bitch. That's what she likes doing. So the fact that she decided to leave and not go against Yovanna should show a lot. It just proves everything. So we get into how Yovanna decided this is what she was going to do. You know, Nene came to her asking her to record everybody. And she's like, you know what? I can do that. She's my friend. I'm loyal to her. And I guess she had been making these friendships with the other girls, you know, at first before Nene asked her to do this. But the fact that you have been making a bond with these girls makes it worse because, you know, now you actually have a bond with these ladies. And Candy brought that up. It's like, well, how can I even, you know, just put that on Nene? Like, you are a willing participant. She asked you to do something and you decided to come around and be fake. And, you know, that's why I don't trust people. Now, Yovanna, as much as you want to put this on Nene, like, bitch, you're not in the clear because you decide y'all both saw this as a beneficial moment for both of y'all. Nene needed it as a storyline and you needed it as an end for the show. You have been trying to get on, you know, Housewives since you first came on with your drunk ass episode. Girl, like, you ain't innocent in all this. And the fact that Nene just isn't there, like, girl, you have no leg to stand on no more at all. Yovanna basically said that she did tell Nene that, oh, she did the recording when she actually did it because Nene was just so pressed on, oh, I guess, did you have it? Do you have it? And she finally just told her, yeah, even though she didn't. But I think Yovanna was trying to play both sides. She needed Nene, you know, to believe that she did it so she can film with her, but she also needed to be able to tell the ladies, like, oh my God, like, there's this whole situation with Cynthia going on, and y'all need me around so I can, you know, y'all can answer y'all's questions about it, and, you know, keep leaving these crumbs out for y'all to keep guessing. Nene definitely was, Yovanna definitely was playing both sides in that regard. But it backfired. Now here you are, you definitely not gonna get invited back because can't nobody trust you now, bitch. And then Nene, you been on the way out. And then she got the nerve to call Portia in the middle of the interview and try to talk. And he said, girl, if you don't take your ass to that square, sit down to your laptop and sit down somewhere. Like, are you kidding me, Nene? You call Portia to try and say something over the phone when you can just sit down on your laptop and defend yourself? Nene did not want to sit down and argue because that would have gave Yovanna license to pull out all the facts and the receipts that she had on Nene, probably texting her to ask about, oh, did you do this and do that? Like, Nene didn't want that business. I mean, and Cynthia said it, like, because they're all like, well, who do you trust? Do you believe Yovanna? Everybody was kind of like, or at least Candy and Portia were. But I'm kind of like, too, because on one end, Yovanna said she did it to get back at Cynthia, but then on the other end, she said that she did it, you know, because Nene asked her to. Now, to me, it don't really matter the reason why. At the end of the day, the whole point is you was down to do some shady shit on behalf of Nene because that's your friend and you want to get on the show so bad. But, like, bitch, you can't be trusted at all. Nene can't be trusted. She can't be trusted. She went so hard to be on this show and be number one. But now here it is, you know, you want to tell producers to tell Andy, put some respect on your name. Bitch, I'll leave my laptop on the porch. Like, girl, you need to find you a new out. Go find you a new group of friends because this one is not it. Portia, you done left your group of friends to go roll it back with Nene, your big sister, and Yovanna put you in check because she said, look, girl, you sure you want to keep defending her? Because, bitch, you was on that list too of people that she wanted me to record. And I feel like as much as Nene had Yovanna record everybody or wanted her to record everybody, it was only for the sake of a rainy day so she can have that shit in her back pocket. It initially was meant for Cynthia for sure. She's been trying to prove that Cynthia was this person, oh, y'all don't know 50 Cent, that she fooling all of y'all, she really dirty behind the scenes. It was more about proving Cynthia wrong. But if in the meantime I can get these other bitches too, that's what I'm gonna do. And Portia, she gonna turn on you again. It's only a matter of time. And you're gonna realize when she start calling you names again that you made the wrong decision. So it was real funny too to see Mr. Michael Sterling, Mr. Sterling was representing Yovanna, getting a cease and desist and everything. Why you sending her a cease and desist, Nene, if she really ain't got nothing to say? The only time people send cease and desist is when they know the other person has some type of truth. Period. But they send Yovanna home. Yovanna, we basically got at her what we already knew. Candy ain't fucking with her. Ain't nobody fucking with her. Like, girl, Yovanna, you shot yourself in the foot. This backfired. Like, Nene, did you not think this all the way through? My question is, did you just feel like you was gonna be able to say somebody was recording y'all and nobody was gonna start asking questions about who it was and they weren't gonna want to know why, like, somebody was doing that? Like, girl, and then you can't throw the person under the bus that you asked to do it because that gives them reason to take you with them, which is what Yovanna did. Yovanna's like, bitch, okay, if you're going to try to take me down there, I'm pulling you under this hole with me, okay? We both going down together. But that's pretty much the episode. Like, it was like, even though we got some stuff, like, this episode kind of really just wasn't a lot. Y'all tell me what you thought about the reunion. After Yovanna left, they pretty much disinvited everybody. Tanya, her little stuff just poking in, but like every now and then to agree to try and defend Nene, and then to try and defend like the wrong people. Marlo, girl, you over there bucking for Nene when everybody was on the phone with her, when she called and everybody was like, oh my God, go away, Nene. Like, you don't want to be here, don't be here. She's like, oh my God, y'all are so childish and rude. Girl, the only childish person here is Nene. She literally is 2 feet from her laptop calling Portia when she could just sit down and say what she got to say. That's childish. That's really what's childish. Andy, though, if it don't show nothing, Andy's facial expressions when Nene called, he said, look, girl, sit down or nothing, okay? Like, we're not going to do this. I'm not talking to her over speakerphone. Andy has been tired of Nene, okay? He just been trying to keep it professional. That's all it is. But, yeah, y'all tell me what you thought about the season, the reunion, how y'all feel about Cynthia, in the whole Tanya situation. Do y'all feel like they're both exactly the same? How do you feel about Yovanna finally snitching on Nene? Overall, how did the reunion go? Did y'all like the virtual reunion? Y'all drop down in the comments, let me know. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure before you go to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I will talk to y'all later. Deuces.